Hi everyone, it's Luis again. Today I'm making a video on repotting a Phalaenopsis. Now, as many of you guys buy these at your local hardware store, your grocery store, and they usually come in a ceramic pot that usually doesn't have a drainage hole. The plastic part does, but not the ceramic part. So what usually happens, if it sits there for too long and you keep on watering it, since there's no drainage hole, your roots are gonna rot. So this is an example of something similar that you might encounter. And what you wanna do is take it out of the ceramic pot. And what you're gonna look for is for black roots. If you see black roots, that means it's rotting. So what I'm going to do is repot this plant, and clearly right here there's some green roots, so it's still good. Once I take all this moss out, there might be some good roots inside, but we'll have to check. Now for the repotting, what I like to do is use a clear pot. It doesn't have to, but I like to see when the roots are growing. Use a 50-50 mixture of perlite and bark. Right now it's just regular bark. It's not the expensive or the high grade bark. I just want my plant to reestablish itself. And right now this is the perlite. It's a grade 3 perlite. And also you might want to pot it in moss. That's okay. I prefer to pot mine in bark. Now I'm also using a mixture of leca pellets and lava rock and some moss in there. And what I use that for is to weigh down the pot so it doesn't topple over. So we're gonna cut into this and see what's alive and see what's dead. So here we are. I'm cutting the plastic off, and I have a bucket to collect all the gunk, the moss. And I want to point out that's dead roots. If it's brown or black, it's dead root. Right here is half dead. Maybe this one in the middle. The one in the middle right here looks alive. These two on the right and these two to the left, they're clearly dead. All of this is dead. So I want to take off the stake and just start pulling away all the moss, and I just let it drop into the container. So that way you can see what's alive and what's dead. Okie dokie. So now, as you can see, now you can see a little bit better. And you can see that if it's brown and sheathy, like a little papery, that means it's dead. If it's grayish, greenish, and plump, that means it's alive. So I will start cutting first this old bloom spike off, because nothing's going to come out of it. So you cut that off, and I'm going to start cutting all these dead roots. And again, if you're wondering what a dead root looks like, it's brown to black, and it has a papery sheath to it. Basically that's the old velamen, and it becomes papery when it's dry and dead. So you clean it a little bit more. So this is what I'm doing. I'm cutting all the dead roots. Now another way to find out whether your plant, the root is alive or dead, is to wet it. So right now I have my fungicide and I spray it. So this serves two purposes. One, it helps me get rid of fungus. And second, if the root is alive, it will absorb the fungicide and the root will become green. And see right there? Whenever you wet an orchid root that's alive, it will turn green. Now the inner ones that have not been exposed to sun, they're usually yellow, but that doesn't mean they're dead. As long as they're plump, they're still alive. So again, you want to cut all the black ones. And even these root tips at the end, I just prefer to cut them because they just get in the way. Like that. So now you can see that this is more manageable, and there's some little stragglers right here, the little hairline looking things. That's the actual root, and all the velamen has rotted away. So you want to cut those tips like that. Okay, so we're down to this, and I will put fungicide on it one more time. Like that. So what I like to do is get my plastic container, put some lava rock or leca pellets in the bottom to weigh it down, and I place my orchid on top like this. So what you're gonna do is, usually the leaves are wide enough that they can sit on top of the plant. Usually the roots keep it in place, but if you don't have enough roots, you might want to push it all the way down so that the leaves become the support. On this one's a little bit too tall, so the leaves are not supporting themselves. It's the pressure of the roots sitting against the pot. So I use that to my advantage, and I try to push it down a little bit more than what it wants to, just because I want it to be snug in place, and also because I see that there's a new root coming out right here. So what I want to do is bring out the media all the way to there so that it encourages the root to grow into the media. So now that I'm here, I will add the bark, which again is only 50-50, 50% bark and 50% perlite. And I don't compact it. You just want to add onto the pot so that it feels all the crevices, but it's loose enough that it allows air to go through it. Otherwise, you're going to be in the same position when you start it, because now you're going to have dead roots again. So also what helps is to squeeze the pot a little bit, and as you do that, the media falls in place. Like that. So we have just potted a Phalaenopsis that had black dead roots. So I hope you enjoy my video. This is my video on repotting Phalaenopsis. Thanks for watching.